going to put them back in. So just wipe your bearing off, be sure it's clean. The bearings are sealed, so they're not really going to get dirty internally. Okay, so you got your carrier back from powder coat, and you're going to put them back in. Of course, you're probably going to do it on the bench, but I just don't want to take my carrier off. So same deal. It's easier on the bench, so you guys have it licked. All right, put it back in. Just start the bearing. And what I do, you can use bearing, what do they call them? Bearing or seal drivers. They work great. That's fine. You can use that. I've never used them myself. I always make do without them. What I do is I use an old bearing or like a really huge socket that'll fit here. But what I'm going to do is use an old axle bearing. I got plenty of them laying around. So I'm going to take my old bearing here, and I'll just put it right on top of the other. And tap it in evenly. Don't tap it in all on one side. Again, you'll wedge it up in there. So tap top, bottom, side to side. So here we go. Like that. Now see here, see how it's going in too far here? That's what I was talking about. So we need to tap it on that side some. My hand was in the way, so I couldn't see. There, now it's going in even. Just keep an eye on it, and you can tell where you need to tap. Then I've even done this. Put the bearing on the inner race like that, so you can see, and then you'll see it go in. Hear that solid thunk? That means it's all the way in. Alright, now we can put our seal back in. If you have new seals or whatever, go ahead and just put a little bit of anything. A little bit of WD-40, a little bit of grease, oil, whatever's not so messy, just so it doesn't go on dry. Set your seal in place, and you can just take a dead blow or your hammer and go gentle with it, and just hold one side, tap it in. Then you can take your drift and just bottom it out against the bearing. No big deal. That's it. That's one. And we're going to switch sides. Don't forget to put your spacer back in. Been there and done that, trust me. Done it 100 times, but still forget every now and then when you get in a hurry and you got crap laying all over your bench. I don't know about y'all, but my bench gets to be horrible when I'm working on stuff. Can't even see it. Alright. Same deal with this bearing. Wipe it off. If you feel you need to put a little bit of grease here or on the outside of the bearing to help it go in, you can do that too, that's fine. You really don't need to. So our spacer's in there. We take our bearing, start it. Take our other bearing, our old one, or socket, whatever you're using. Tap it in. This is really awkward for me because I'm right-handed, so I'm actually gonna do it like this. There we go. Top, bottom. Once you get it in so far, I always turn my bearing the other way so I can watch what I'm doing. Listen for that solid thunk. That's when you know it's in. There it is. And your spacer still moves. Last but not least, your seal. Just kind of hold it on one side. Same deal. Tap it in. And then you can take your, you don't have to use this huge long drift, it's just what I have laying here. Take you a drift, a short 3/8 drive extension, whatever, and just tap it in. All the way around. That's it. Alright, on your brake hub, 9 times out of 10, if you just stick an Allen in here with an impact or a ratchet, you're just going to round those out. What you want to do with those is heat them up. What I usually, if you don't have a torch, like an acetylene torch, just an old torch like this for Walmart for like $9 for everything. They work just fine. Get them good and hot at each one at a time. What I usually do is lay it on the bench, and I just lay my torch sideways and lay it right against there for about maybe a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes each one. Get it good and hot, and then hit them with your impact, and they'll come right out. The reason they're tight like that is because they've got Loctite from the factory. So that's all there is to that. So now I'm going to show you guys how to put it back together. Okay, so got my axle standing here, and I have it standing with the brake rotor side facing down right here. Take your brake rotor, slide it right down over, and be sure you slide it down the right way. This is your seal race. This fits inside the seal over here. Yeah, you can see this fits inside the seal here, so be sure you put it on the right way. Otherwise, it's going to be on like this, and that's not going to work for you. So slide it on, seal side facing up. All right, put a little bit of oil in the seals if you haven't already. Don't drag your axle on the seal. Slide it right through. Good idea to put some never sees on these splines. That way, if it's a long time before you tear it down, you're not going to have a problem getting it back out. So just slide your axle back in. See, it didn't quite seat all the way here. Because it's fitting, the axle itself is fitting kind of tight in one of the bearing races. So you can just take your dead blow, give it a couple of taps, boom, she's in. And it turns nice and smooth. Hey, y'all see what I did wrong there? If you did it this way, don't forget to hang your chain back over the axle. Slide it back through. Now we're back in business. Okay, so next we're going to put our sprocket hub back on. Sprocket hub is going to go back on the same way with the, well, you can tell which way it goes back on. With your seal race facing the seal, take it, slide it on. Again, good idea, put a little bit of never sees on here like I said earlier. Maybe put a little bit on the inside. If you don't have any, just use grease. Kind of put your chain on the other side of it so you don't get it stuck back there, because it can be a pain to dig out. Give it a tap, get it seated back all the way in. You really don't have to tap it in because your lock nuts are going to push it back into place. So hang that there for now. All right, next you can put your axle nuts back on. Doesn't matter which way the nut faces, just put it back on. Loctite, not Loctite, never sees be good to put on these, especially if you had a hard time getting them loose. Okay, got that one back in. Get my chain out. Hang it there. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put, you can see we'll put a hub over here on this far side, so we can tighten it up. I'm just gonna stick a pry bar in here to lock it, just like that. And then we'll tighten this nut up. Doesn't have to be real tight, just snug. All you're doing is setting preload on that bearing. Then you can put your other nut on. Now here, you can remove this. You're gonna need to hold back up on your inside axle nut. You're gonna hold it here. Turn your wrench around so it'll bite the right way. They just pull against each other. You get it good and tight. And you're done. Alright. Now we can go ahead and put our sprocket back on. Put our sprocket back on. You can tell which way it was on. Really doesn't matter. But it's probably a good idea to put it back the same way so that the chain wears the same way. You can tell this side was against the hub, and you can tell where your locks were. Locks face out. Put it back in. Hang your chain over the sprocket, just like that, and then just line your studs up, just like that. Then you're going to put your locks back on. Be sure you put them on the way that they were, where the little deals are folded out towards you. All right. Put a drop of Loctite behind the nut. You can do it before. When I do, I usually end up getting Loctite all over my fingers, so I just kind of dab some on behind it. And you don't have to use Loctite. It's just a insurance, if you will. If you don't have those locks on it, then definitely use Loctite, because they will definitely come loose. Tighten them back up, get them good and snug. Okay. Now we need to be sure we fold our little ears back over. Just reach back there with a screwdriver like this. Kind of tap down, get it coming your way, and then you can just take and. Easiest way to do this. The easiest way to do this is with vice grips. Just once you get it folded over a little bit, boom, you're done. All right, they're all locked. Only thing left to do now is put our skid plate and our axles back on, our axle hubs. The easiest way to put the skid plate back on is to hang the front ones first. So just stick it up in place, stick a bolt through, let it hang. Then do your other the same way. Then on the back side you've got a nut and a washer on each one. Okay, then you can put your rear bolts and nuts in. And then just tighten them up the way we took them loose. Tighten our front ones up. Right side. Okay. Our new cotter pin. The right way to put these in is like this. Put them all the way through. Fold it up. Trim it off. About the height of the center. Like so. Fold it back around. And then you're going to want to fold it back down to the edge right here where this flange is. Just makes it look better. Hold it at the bottom, fold it back over. That's the right way to put in the cotter. We'll do the same thing on the other. Alright, left side hub, washer, nut. Here we go. And then put this cotter pin in. and we take our brake caliper, set it back on. We go right back in place just like that. Take your little bit of Loctite, put it on the bolt, just like that. Stick that one in. Put your lower one in. Once you get one stab, the other, just give the caliper a wiggle. It'll go right in. And tighten them up. I'll move you guys back into it. Then the wheels. And last but not least, let her down. You're done. Well, there you go, guys. Wasn't too bad, huh? I'm not sure how long that took exactly. My GoPro has been running 56 minutes, so along with looking for tools and crap like that, looking for bolts that got kicked around, pretty sure you guys can do it in well under an hour. So anyway, that's how it's done, and covered a couple of extra things along the way. Covered on how to pull off the brake rotor, sprocket, how to change sprocket without loosening the chain, all that good stuff. So I'll post up some more videos soon. I'm going to do one soon on front brakes, how to change front brake pads and all that good stuff. Probably do one on how to pull the front wheel bearings out, your hub bearings, and all that good stuff. So keep a lookout. Until then, happy riding, God bless, and keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Later, guys.